The 3 Pestly baby dragons kicked out all the nannies, but the human maid did what no one expected. The royal hatchery of Eldrith was a place of chaos, singed curtains, and constant nanny resignations. Inside it lived 3 baby dragons, triplets, no less, each more troublesome than the last. There was Blaze, who sneezed fire when annoyed. Ember, who cried molten tears that melted everything in sight. And Fawn, the smallest, but by far the loudest, with screams so piercing it cracked glass. Together, they were known by the castle staff as the Pestly Trio. Dozens of nannies had tried to care for them, elven caretakers, dwarven midwives. Even a stone-skinned troll who claimed she'd raised wyverns during a blizzard had fled screaming. They were incorrigible, unstoppable, and extremely cute, at least from a distance. After the last magical nanny flew out the window, quite literally, Queen Illyra sighed into her tea and muttered, "Perhaps we should try a cage next." That's when the castle steward hesitantly cleared his throat. "Your Majesty, there's one applicant left." "Another dragon tamer?" she asked hopefully. He shook his head. "A human, a maid, says she's worked with children before." The queen raised an eyebrow. "Human? Just a maid." "Desperate times," the steward whispered. Her name was Mara. She arrived in a plain brown dress, a mop tied to her back, and a calmness that unnerved the guards. She didn't wear armor, didn't carry spells, and had no apparent magical blood. When asked if she was sure she wanted the job, she simply said, "I've worked with triplets before." Day 1. Mara was led into the nursery with zero fanfare and locked inside for her safety. Inside, the 3 dragons sat in a perfect row, blinking their oversized eyes at her. 10 seconds later, Blaze flared up and shot a burst of flame toward her broom. "Absolutely not," Mara said, stepping aside calmly and batting the fireball away with a wet mop head. The baby dragons froze. "Now then," she said, picking up a scorched toy with 2 fingers, "this room is a mess." Ember tried to cry. She handed him a chilled rag. "Here, if you cry, hold this to your eyes." Fong inhaled a shriek. She leaned down. "You scream, I start singing." He hesitated, then exhaled instead. By the end of day 1, Mara had not only survived, but had the 3 dragons napping on their backs, their tummies full of warm goat milk. The queen nearly dropped her scepter when she saw the sketch from the crystal orb. Day 5, Mara had rearranged the nursery. Gone were the golden toys and velvet cushions. Instead, there were wooden puzzles, soot-proof walls, chewable rocks, and giant fireproof storybooks. She also implemented a routine: eat, play, learn, nap, repeat. And oddly it worked. Every time Blaze tried to set something on fire, Mara gave him a fire-safe clay to shape instead. Ember got a warm cuddle blanket, enchanted to absorb heat. Fong was taught how to channel his sonic wail into singing, and to everyone's horror, he loved it. When the royal cook complained about stolen meat, Mara made the dragons help her clean the kitchen floors. You want food, you help prepare the place that makes it. They obeyed, not because she yelled, but because she didn't. Mara treated them like children. Naughty, dangerous children, but children nonetheless. She didn't fear them, and that made all the difference. By week 2, word had spread. Knights peeked through keyholes. Mages scribbled notes. Nobles whispered the dragon maid, who had done what no enchantment could. But the real test came during the royal banquet. The queen, curious beyond measure, invited Mara and the triplets to attend. The guests were tense. Dragons, especially baby ones, were not known for their table manners. Blaze sneezed near the dessert table. Mara caught the flame in a wet cloth. Ember started to cry over a spicy meatball. Mara handed him her chilled glass. Fawn began to shriek when a noble patted his head. Mara calmly gave him a lemon tart. He stuffed his mouth and stayed silent. Gasps filled the hall. Applause broke out. The queen rose, stunned. Mara, how did you do this? Mara just smiled and said, They're not monsters, your majesty. They're just babies. Very sharp, very hot babies. But babies all the same. A month later, the triplets could be seen flying in safe formation under Mara's watchful eye. They knew their colors, their names, their favorite lullaby. Mara remained the only human staff member in the entire castle who could give a dragon a timeout without being roasted. She never asked for a reward, never boasted. But one day, she found a small note under her pillow, written in shaky dragon handwriting. We love you, Mama.